everybody, this is Ilana Michelson from optiontoheal.com, and today I want to talk to you about something that happened to me a while back. Someone told me, a good friend of mine, that when I'm sober, I sound like I'm stoned. Now, at the time I didn't quite understand what he meant, but when I think back to it now, I do actually understand what he meant, or at least what I choose to understand what he meant, because as we learned in NLP, the nature of communication is really dependent on what I understand from the hearer understands from the communication, not what the talker intended to say. So if a talker, you say something to somebody else and they don't understand you, they understand it differently, you have to work to change your wording so that they will understand it, or they're going to understand it the way they want to. And since I'm given that kind of leeway to understand things the way that I want to, I'm going to choose to understand it in the way that I want to, which is people who are stoned, hi there Gita, are generally feeling high. And if they're feeling high, it means that they're happy and chilled. Now, if any of you recall, my mission statement is to make the whole world happy, one person at a time, starting with myself. And if people comment to me about how I always sound happy or always sound high, and by the way, it's not the first person who has told me that I sound very often like I'm on a high, even though I'm not in any drugs, I'm really on an internal natural high, hi there Yvonne, then I'm actually in a good place. It means that I'm carrying out my mission statement. And I also know that the moment that I'm happy, my happiness spreads out to everyone who's around me, who chooses to stay around me. And hi there, Yvonne, chooses to stay around me and who chooses to be affected by me. Because if you stay around me, it's almost inevitable that either I will be affected by you or you will be affected by me. And if I choose to remain happy and you stay around, you'll be affected by me and you'll become happy. And so I'll be spreading that happiness around. Now, I was talking to another friend the other day, and there are so many people who go to support groups for Alcoholics Anonymous, for women who are beaten, for men who are beaten, for children who are beaten. Hi there, Radhika. For all sorts of different things, but usually bad things. And I kind of thought, what would happen if we made a support group for people who are happy, where we can come together and we can share things that make us happy and kind of spread the happiness around. And I recall that there was once this television show, I can't remember what it was called, where there was a husband and wife, and the husband was a lawyer, and the wife was sort of like this hippie type person, and the wife had made this special place. She took an area inside a building next to a bus stop, and in the area she wasn't selling anything, but she had chairs and she was giving out coffee, and people would like share the newspaper and share talking and be able to wait pleasantly for the bus. And I thought to myself, that is such a cool idea. Now, in the actual show, she ended up having to close down because she didn't have a license, even though she wasn't selling anything. And there were all sorts of technical problems, bureaucratic problems. But I really liked that idea of people coming together just to share good things, happy things, and maybe, have some happiness intention for the whole world to come out. So if anybody's actually interested in something like that, hi there. So I would really be happy if you would contact me, and maybe we can create some sort of group like that, because I think that would be awesome to spread the happiness to everybody. Now, back one moment to that idea that you get to choose the meaning of what people tell you. I would not say this if the law tells you something. Thank you, Yvonne. I think it's a great idea too. So contact me and maybe we can get something together. But back to what I was saying, if the law or a police officer or a government official or someone like that tells you something, I would advise you to find out what they're actually meaning, because I wouldn't want, because of me, for you to get into trouble because you're saying, oh, I understood it like this, and then they'll say, well, that's not the law. So when it comes to things like that, where it's the law that's involved, where it's, having to pay taxes, pay bills, something like that, always figure out what they're asking for so you don't get into trouble. But when someone just off the street tells something to you, or when somebody, a friend tells something to you, even if they're not necessarily meaning something that's nice, you can always take it to be nice. It's your choice to understand how you understand it. It's your choice to see what the meaning is according to what you want to hear it. And why would you let somebody else decide for you what's good or bad for you, or what you are or what you aren't? You can decide what you are, what you aren't. So I'm going to thank that person, whether that person's watching or not, for giving me that good feeling that I'm actually doing what my mission statement is, being happy all the time. And for all the people who have told me that, because I really do enjoy the fact that I'm on a high. And I wasn't always on this high. 12 years ago, I would say that 90% of the time, I was in a definite low. This was right after I got divorced. And maybe 8% of the time, I was in a okay place, and 2% of the time, I was in that high place. Fast forward 12 years after all the inner work that I've done and work I've done with other people, and mind you, whenever I do work with other people, I get benefit too because I'm doing it along with them. Now, 80% of the time, I'm on a high. I'm feeling good. I'm in inner endorphins, and it's just endorphins. I'm not on drugs. I haven't taken anything. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. But I have these inner endorphins that are creating this good feeling inside of me, and I'm on a high. I'd say another 15% of the time, I'm basically average, okay, and 5% of the time, I'm down. And I'd say that's a pretty good choice. It's like, 80% of the time, hi there, Shy. If 80% of the time I'm in a good place, it's a good place to be. Trust me. When you get there, if you're not there yet, you'll figure out how good it is. So if anybody's interested in making this happiness support group, we can support each other in happiness, please contact me. I'm more than happy to create it, to, be the one who organizes it. But I'd like to have people who are actually going to come, and we can have that happiness intention to set it out for the whole entire world. Because once the whole world is happy, my belief is that we'll get rid of all the bad things in the world. We'll get rid of the poorness, poverty, we'll get rid of the starvation, we'll get rid of the wars, the fighting. Because when everyone's happy, and I'm talking about unconditionally happy inside, I'm not talking about happy because you did something bad to somebody else, things get better. You get what you want. You start manifesting the things that you want. And I can tell you that, not only that, but you also manage to see the good in everything around you, which means that whatever you're seeing ends up being good, regardless of what anybody else meant it for it to be. And that's a really good place to be. So everyone, have a great weekend, soon heading into my Sabbath. Have a great day, be it morning, evening, night. Remember, everything is always going your way. Everything's always going my way. Everything's always going everybody's way. And be happy. Most important thing. Take care. From optiontoheal.com.